Okay, James, thank you very much. Lady Cat softball brought to you by BT Medical, City National Bank, Wesley House Assisted Living, Farm Country, Alliance Bank, and the University Interscholastic League. We are in Mount Vernon at Donnie Surratt Field here tonight. And this is a game that was originally scheduled as a Lady Cats home game Friday night, but you all know how much rain we had Friday and Saturday, and so there was really no chance of that game being played Friday night. And it was moved here to Mount Vernon this evening, where they have an artificial turf field and where the rain is really not going to be that much of an issue. So it's the Lady Cats versus the Pittsburg Pirates this evening in a District 14 4A softball game. And Lady Cats leading the district with a 5-0 record. Pittsburg coming in here is 1-1 in the district according to Max Preps. I think some games have not been reported. Their overall record is listed at 4-8, but again, there's some games that have simply not been recorded by Max Preps. But that's probably a fair indication of how their season has been going. And Lady Cats come in here with an 18-7 record, and they are 5-0 in district play. And as we say, they are in first place in the district. North Lamar is in second place at 2-1. Pittsburg officially at 1-1 in the district, so they are likely going to be a playoff team. Pleasant Grove is 1-2. Paris is 0-5 in the district. So Pittsburg here hoping to pull off an upset and move into perhaps a tie for second place with North Lamar. Lady Cats pretty much running away with the district, as was expected. Lady Cats beat Pittsburg in the previous game between these two teams, 9-1 on March 18th. Lady Cats' most recent game was a 21-0 blowout of Paris on April 1st, and then the Friday night game, as you know, was postponed until this very time. Matt Jansen is our technical director and video producer, and you can see this game streaming on YouTube this evening if you'd like to look in. James Terry, our producer in the KSST studio, and I, of course, am joined, as always, by Tony Flippin, our color commentator and play-by-play broadcaster. So, Tony, it's good to get this game in. This is a beautiful facility here at Mount Vernon. Absolutely is a beautiful facility. It's named after the coach that won the only state softball championship for Mount Vernon a few years back. Turf everywhere, good dimensions in the park, not a lot of foul territory and so forth. So it should be an action ball game. Not a lot of out of play area. For Pittsburgh, and their head coach, by the way, is DJ Dunn. Met her in the dugout a few minutes ago. Very engaging young woman. By the way, I'm kind of battling a cold here, so I may have to, from time to time, take a breath or clear my throat or whatever it might be to keep going. But the Pittsburgh lineup looks like this. Emmy Castaneda will lead off in center field. Kaylin Hudson will bat second at second base. Audrina Landon bats third, and she is the shortstop. Kaylee Stoker in left field is the center fielder. Batting fifth, M.C. Lawton, the third baseman. Batting sixth, Addie Castaneda, the sister of Emmy Castaneda, is the first baseman. Tatum Reynolds, the pitcher, will bat seventh, and we'll give you the rest of the lineup as we have the chance, because Hannah Speed is about to throw the first pitch. And there it is for a called strike, a fastball to Emmy Castaneda. And we better keep up with it with no scoreboard. I thought the scoreboard was on a few minutes ago, but now I see that it has been turned off. There's call strike 2. Yeah, Matt said it was on earlier. I hadn't seen anybody, so. Now it's back on. I don't know who's running it. I don't know. Because there's nobody up here in the press box with us. There's a swing and a miss. At a pitch outside the strike zone by Emmy Castaneda, and there's the first out for Pittsburgh here in the top of the first inning. Hannah Speed coming into the game, the sophomore, with an 8-0 record, a 2.13 ERA, 72 1/3 innings pitched. She's given up 40 hits, She has 139, now 140 strikeouts. There's a pitch way up high for a ball to Kylan Hudson, the third baseman. So 139 strikeouts in 72 and a third innings. Swing and a miss. And the count is 0-2.
Scoreboard's flashing on and off. They had the ball up there a minute ago, so somebody must have a remote somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I have this as an 0-2 count.
No,
there's a pitch.
1-1.
Way up high. You're right.
That's 2-1.
Yeah, the first pitch was a ball. Yeah,
and the scoreboard came on, so you got to be lucky to catch it. It is going on and coming on and going off.
So Speed now with 140 strikeouts, striking out almost 2 batters per inning. There's a swing and a miss. 2-2 count.
2-2. She's had a little better control and been doing a little more striking out the last game or two. Maybe she's coming into her own.
And the 2-2 pitch way outside for a ball, and it is a full count, 3-2. She has walked 45 in 72 and a third innings. Speed into the wind, and there's a pitch inside for ball 4. So a runner at first base for Pittsburg, Kylan Hudson, and that brings up Audrina Landon, the shortstop, number 3 hitter in the batting order. Rest of their lineup, I think we said Tatum Reynolds batting 7th, the pitcher.
Yes.
Hannah Speed ready with the pitch here. And there's a call strike. Up in the zone and catching the outside edge. Sophie Smith bats 8th, and she is the catcher. Brinley Langford is the right fielder, and she will bat 9th. Outfield straight away, swing and a miss. Had a ball down around the knees. 0-2 count. Now the scoreboard's back on, then it goes off again. What's the deal with that?
I don't know what we got, but we got 0-2. 1 out, runner on first.
There's a ball hit into left field, falling fast. Little Texas leaguer in there for a base hit, but you know what? They get a force out at second base there.
Fielder's choice, and we got a 7-4 put out at second base for the second out.
KK Montgomery alertly coming up with the ball in very shallow left field, and had a pretty easy play there at second base. Of course, the runner
was in no man's land because she couldn't just take off because KK could have come up there and dove for it.
So that goes as a fielder's choice.
Yep.
For Audrina Landon. Otherwise would have been a base hit. First pitch is swung on and missed. For strike 1, Kaylee Stoker, the left fielder.
So 2 outs now during the blinking scoreboard.
2 outs and a runner at first. No score. Top of the first inning from Mount Vernon. Hannah Speed looking in. Windmills her arm and comes in with the pitch, and it's a ball outside. I have it 1-1 now.
1-1. Runner's taking a pretty good lead out at first base. I'm not going to be surprised if Baylor comes out of there and throws at her.
Stoker, an open stance. And the pitch is low for a ball.
We got a friendly to me on umpire behind the plate, so I'm going to have to watch my griping. I think we got a good home plate umpire tonight.
Stoker, powerfully built young lady there as the hitter. And the pitch is a fastball in. There's that throw down to first base, Tony.
Yep, if it had been down, she had her. She delayed just a little bit, too. That's one of those where Baylor's got to make up her mind. If the pitch is outside and leading her that way, just get on your knee and chunk it.
3-1 count. And Stoker swings and hits it foul to the right side. I tell you, they have a rubberized pad around
the ball's going to get back in play.
It really, right. It's going to bounce off sharply off that pad, anything that goes back there.
Yep. Full count.
3-2. And that's inside for ball 2, or ball 4 it is, and the second walk is what I meant to say. And so, actually, that is the second walk.
Second walk.
Landon reached on the fielder's choice. Hudson walked, but was put out on that force play at second.
Yep.
So that's unusual for Hannah Speed to walk 2 batters in an inning.
She's throwing it pretty hard. She may be doing a little overthrowing.
MC Lawton, the third baseman. There's a change of speed pitch. throw goes through to second base. I'm not sure if that was by design or not.
I don't know. That's a good trick.
0-1.
Good thing second baseman was there for it.
Right-handed batter. And the pitch is away. 1-1.
That's where we're going to have a good strike zone, because that's the one that all year long I've been complaining. My guy didn't even flinch.
Outfield straight away, medium depth. And the pitch is fouled back into the net. I have 1-2.
1-2.
Again, we're working with an intermittent scoreboard here. I'm not even sure where the control is, because there's nobody in the press box here with us.
Hannah's working inside a lot more than normal on these first 4 batters, so we'll see if that's going to be a pattern today or just where she's at.
Pitch swung on and missed. And
that's the 3rd strike.
There we go. That's the final out of the inning as Hannah Speed gets her requisite 2 strikeouts here in the top of the 1st inning. 2 batters or 2 runners left on for Pittsburgh, and we go to the bottom of the 1st. No score. Lady Cats and the Pittsburg Pirates, and Lady Cat softball continues after this on KSST. Lady Cat softball on KSST. No scores. We go to the bottom of the 1st inning. Hannah Speed will lead off, followed by Braylee Blevins, the first baseman, and Shaylee Friddle, the shortstop for the Lady Cats. And they will be facing a right-handed pitcher here, Tatum Reynolds, for Pittsburgh. We have no information whatsoever on the Pittsburgh girls. They only have 10 players here, Tony.
Should keep it down where we may have position changes, but that's it. And it actually, on the JV game, they only played with 8 players, and the catcher came out, and that's how that ball game ended, because you can't play with less than 8, I believe.
I wondered about that.
So she came out, and something was wrong, and the coach finally came out, and they got to the umpire, and he raised his hands, and ball game.
Huh. And they only had 2 outfielders.
Correct.
I thought I saw that, yeah.
Yes.
And the first pitch by Tatum Reynolds is way inside for ball 1. Hannah Speed batting .500 still for the Lady Cats this deep in the season.
Yeah, she's still been keeping right in there with it.
23 for 46. Right-handed batter, and she hits this one to right center field. The center fielder going back and makes a nice running catch.
Yep, that was a good catch. A well-hit ball, but center fielder kept her eye on it and ran with it. Good catch.
Emmy Castaneda. Ball just over slightly into right center field. Not much wind here this evening. A little bit of a breeze from the west across the field from right to left. Braylee Blevins, the first baseman, right-handed batter. And the first pitch misses inside and high for a ball. Blevins, a .333 hitter, 12 for 36. 13 runs scored and 8 RBIs. Stands up near the front of the batter's box, and here's an off-speed pitch in for a strike.
Looked like she was taking that all the way. First and third are not in hardly at all. She's got really good speed if she decided to drop one down.
Outfield pretty deep. Straight away, pitch is high for a ball. I've got 2-1.
Yes, sir. We're either both good or there we go. Scoreboard came with a 2-0. And
Blevins, not sure if she's swung and missed or if she just tipped it. I think she probably tipped it slightly.
She did. So I've got 2-2.
He shows 2-2. The ump shows 2-2.
Yep.
And the pitcher for Pittsburgh, Tatum Reynolds, comes in there, and boy, did Blevins turn on that one. She blistered it down the left field line.
She caught that with the barrel and whipped it down there.
What do you think about these torpedo bats? We're going to see that.
Somewhat a gimmick.
Yeah.
It's still X amount is your maximum barrel, and all they've done is if you hit it on the end of the bat, you're not going to get anywhere.
And here's a swing and a miss, but the ball gets away from the catcher, and going on down to first base is Braylee Blevins. So that is scored as a strikeout for the pitcher, Tatum Reynolds.
And an error.
And it's a pass ball and an error on the catcher.
So she got to show her speed anyway.
Sophie Smith, the catcher, couldn't flag that one down. Here's a call strike, and there goes Blevins. And the throw down. Apparently she slid under the tag. I thought they had her.
No, and they had it, but from what I could see, the umpire had his hands out signaling safe before she even got to the bag. So
I'm not sure how they're able to slide on this artificial turf.
Yeah, head first. That would not be very comfortable in my book. I think I'd have my rear end getting it.
So Blevins now at second base with one out, having struck out, but going to first on the pass ball on the third strike. And now
big conversation.
Shaylee Friddle is the hitter, and she's gone down to the third base coaching box and having a chat with David Carrillo, the head coach of the Lady Cats. Runner at second, one out. Friddle.
Of course, she's a freshman.
A .380 hitter is Friddle, 17 for 50. Oof. And first pitch is up and in, and she turns on it and drives it way down the left field line, but way foul.
Nearly hit it in the baseball park.
Yeah, there's a baseball field directly behind us, as you might expect.
He's got 0-2. I had 1-1, but I'm...
Pitch is high. And scoreboard shows 1-1.
Well, he had two fingers up just a minute ago.
Runner at second and one out. Shaylee Friddle stands up near the front of the batter's box. She fouls this one back into the net.
Put him up, Hank. Let me see what you got.
We're waiting on our home plate umpire here to... And we have to look at that backward, don't we? As far as balls and strikes are concerned, he didn't indicate. And again, she hits it a ton down the left field line, but more or less off the fists. And way foul. Well, we know two strikes anyway.
I've got 1-2.
That's what I've got.
It may be 2-2, but I don't know. We got two fouls.
Again, our scoreboard is, there's a pitch way up high. Up over the headgear of Shaylee Friddle. 2-2, yep.
Yep. And the scoreboard just blinked.
And again, she hits it hard to left, but this time it is fair, and it rattles off the wall. At around third base and coming in to score is Braylee Blevins, and in standing at second base with a double is Shaylee Friddle. And give her an RBI.
Was hit hard.
Well, I mean, she hit three balls extremely hard in that at-bat.
So Braylee Blevins, who I can't pronounce the name, comes in to break that 0 off the board and score the first run for the Lady Cats.
Be the 14th run of the season for Braylee Blevins. And here's a ball hit into right field on the first pitch to Baylor Boatman. And it is caught by the right fielder, Brindley Lanford, for the second out. And now it is KK Montgomery for Sulphur Springs. With a runner at second, Shaylee Friddle.
2 outs. We need to get a good clutch base hit, put a crooked number up.
Lady Cats lead 1-0. Bottom of the first inning. First pitch is a ball high and away to KK Montgomery. Montgomery hitting .347. 17 base hits and 48 at bats. Again, the pitch way up high. That's a fastball. And 2-0.
Yeah, Miss Reynolds is bringing it pretty good, too.
Yeah, she's got a good arm.
She's got some pop to it. 2-0.
And the pitch is inside for ball 3 to KK Montgomery. Montgomery with great speed.
Best athlete on the team in my book.
Right-handed batter stands near the back of the batter's box. And there's ball 4 outside.
She may be going to second.
There she goes. She rounds first, and the throw is into center field by the pitcher, and the run will come in to score for Sulphur Springs. Wow.
That's what you do with making people play ball. So that's going to go as a walk to Montgomery, and then she steals second. We're going to have to give her an error on the throw, but she ends up at third base.
That was an error on the pitcher, was it not?
Error on the pitcher.
Yeah. Tatum Reynolds. So 2-0, Sulphur Springs. As KK Montgomery putting the pressure on the Pirate defense And now I did not get a chance to get the whole lineup here, so this is Abby
Goldsmith.
Abby Goldsmith now for
designated player.
Sulphur Springs. She is the
number 5. There's
ball hit on the ground to second base. 3 hops. To her right is the second baseman for Pittsburgh, and then on over to first base for the putout to Addie Castaneda. But the Lady Cats come up with 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning. We go to the second. 2-0 Sulphur Springs over Pittsburgh. This Lady Cats softball on KSST. Going to the top of the second inning, Lady Cats leading Pittsburgh 2-0 in this game that was originally scheduled for Friday night in Sulphur Springs, but because of all the rain, of course, it was postponed, and I think no one was quite sure if the field would be dry enough in Sulphur Springs. Lady Cats Park, the field there, would it be dry enough by Monday evening? And so this game was moved here to the artificial turf field of Donnie Surratt Field at Mount Vernon. And here's the first pitch by Hannah Speed to Addie Castaneda, swing and a miss on a fastball, and it is 0-1. Infield is colored brown, and of course the outfield is green. Swing and a miss, fastball up high for strike 2.
Hannah's challenging the batters right now. Of course, this is number 6, 7, 8, 9.
Big Mount Vernon purple and white logo in center field here. Speed, the 0-2 pitch is up high. Check swing by Addie Castaneda, and the count is 1-2.
Baylor came around and asked the home plate umpire. They gave a safe sign. Okay. Finally got that appeal.
Castaneda, an open stance as a right-handed batter, and she swings and misses for strike 3. That's the third strikeout for Hannah Speed.
Looking good so far.
She has yet to give up a base hit. Tatum Reynolds, her opposite number in the pitcher circle, coming up to hit now. The number 7 hitter in the batting order for Pittsburgh, a right-handed batter. We haven't seen a left-handed batter in the game yet. Speed into the wind. Pitch is way up high for ball 1. Sophie Smith, the catcher, is on deck for Pittsburgh. Speed with the pitch. Fastball up high.
2-0?
I've got it 2-0, yeah.
I missed one of them. It's going to be a challenge.
Outfield is deep and straight away. Pitch way inside for ball 3. Another fastball.
Yep. She's just rearing back and whipping it right now.
Lady Cats on the road tomorrow night at North Lamar. There's a called strike on the inside edge. So the count now, I have it 3-1.
3-1, that's me. We're either both good or both bad.
Speed in there, swing and a miss. Strike 2, fastball about the belt.
This is what we're more used to seeing Hannah do, is challenge people and overpower them. And right now, if she just gets it over the zone, she should have some good results.
Speed, the sophomore, in with the 3-2 pitch, and it is hit foul, out of play to the right side, and the count remains at 3-2. 1 out, nobody on. Top of the second inning, Lady Cats lead at 2-0 over Pittsburgh. Tatum Reynolds, the pitcher, swing and a miss on a fastball, strike 3.
She's looking good right now.
It's 4 strikeouts.
Yeah, and staying on the inside part of the plate, she's getting in on their hands a little bit, and if she can stay right there, she's going to be tough to hit all night long.
2 outs and nobody on. And Sophie Smith, number 8 hitter in the order, coming up now for Pittsburgh. And kind of bails out on that one, hits it foul into the net to the first base side, 0-1. As we say, Lady Cats on the road tomorrow night at North Lamar. And the Wildcat baseball team on the road at Paris tomorrow evening. Again, swing and a miss here by Sophie Smith. And the first 2 pitches, Tony, her foot's been pointed to third base.
Yeah, she's bailing out bad. She needs to just go ahead and rock in here and get rid of her.
0-2.
Okay, there's our strike that we don't like that didn't get there. So good call by the umpire.
Looked like a waste pitch to me.
That's what it was. You want to swing at it, go ahead, but you're not going to do much with it.
1-2. Nobody on base.
Pretty good action, though. People are either striking out or putting it in play. Pretty active first inning. Couple of catches look good.
1-2 pitch, and there's a swing and a miss. I think she threw her a changeup there. Strikes out the side, does Hannah Speed, and now she has 5 strikeouts in the first 2 innings. And we go to the bottom of the second inning with the Lady Cats leading over Pittsburg 2-0. This is Lady Cat softball on KSST. Lady Cat softball on KSST. We're going to the bottom of the second inning. And for Sulphur Springs, 7, 8, and 9 in the order, it's the Thompson triplets coming
Law
up.
Firm. There's number 8. Number 8 is the...
Allison Frazier is the center fielder. She is not in the batting order.
Correct.
Abby Goldsmith is batting for her. But we have Gracie Thompson, Claire Thompson, and Emerson Thompson all coming up. I did talk with David Carrillo before the game about that. He says there is no relation.
At all?
At all is what
strange.
he said.
That's
well,
strange.
it's such a common name.
Mm-hmm. But even so, you would think that and I don't know what the classifications are on them, but
well, we could look that up. But anyway, it
makes for a better law firm for our
Thompson, and Thompson coming up here in the bottom of the second. And on the first pitch, this is Gracie Thompson hitting it out of here to left field.
That's the way to start off an inning. First pitch.
Somehow she missed first base there and had to go back and tag it.
That's smart thinking, because you sure hate to miss one by doing that.
Now, she turned on that one and drove it well over that left field wall.
And that's right where the wind is blowing, is that direction from home plate. She didn't need any help, but it boosted a little anyway.
That'll be her 4th homer of the season, and she leads the team in home runs.
Well, that one was just classic. She didn't swing hard. She hit the middle of the bat like you're supposed to, had it elevated, and there it is. 3-0, Lady Cats. I'm assuming these are about 200-foot walls.
Yeah, well, it's pretty standard in softball. They did not have the distances on the wall, but at
200 feet, if you hit the ball solid and get it in the air, you've got a chance.
Yep. At Lady Cat Park, it's 200 down the lines and 203 to center field.
Yep. And this looks to be basically a mirror.
First pitch was, she hit it foul, did she not?
Foul strike.
Claire Thompson. And here's a pitch low for a ball. So 1-1 is what you have?
1-1.
Claire Thompson, the right fielder. And Claire, I have it here. Hitting 333, pitches high for a ball. 2-1 is what you have?
2-1.
Well, I made a mistake. I'm getting the Thompsons mixed up here. Gracie Thompson, who hit the home run, that is her first home run of the season. It's Claire that has 3. Now, she hits one down the third baseline out into left field for a solid single. Right past the third baseman, Kylan Hudson. And the left fielder, Kaylee Stoker, over to cut it off, but it's a single for Claire Thompson.
She made a good play in left field, because that ball could have very easily gotten to the wall. So
yeah, she really did.
Good defense. Just from watching some of the girls move on Pittsburgh defensively, I think they're okay defensively.
Mm-hmm. Number 9 hitter in the order now, Emerson Thompson, with Claire Thompson at first base. And she takes the first pitch low and away for ball 1. The second baseman for the Lady Cats.
So we've got speed at the plate and speed on the first base.
Swinging and hitting it into short right field, right center field. Of center fielder coming on, can't make the catch. Right fielder for Pittsburgh, Brindley Lanford, comes up with it and throws it back into the infield. But I'm
giving the base hit.
Yeah, I call it
because that was hard.
Tough
placement. It's just kind of a Texas League blooper. But unlike Pittsburgh in the first inning where they got caught in no man's land and KK doubled her off at second, Claire, or was it? Yeah, Claire was able to go halfway, and with her speed, she slid in. They missed the play, but they wouldn't have had her if they had a perfect relay.
So nobody out, and pitch in the dirt, and going on down to third base, and safe is Claire Thompson, and coming in behind her, Emerson Thompson moves up to second base. I'm going to call that, well, I would just call that a stolen base.
I thought that a double steal is what they had. The ball just happened to get in the dirt. That was a double steal.
This is Hannah Speed, and the ball is hit to right field. Catch is made, and tagging up and scoring from third base for Sulphur Springs is Claire Thompson. So sacrifice fly for Hannah Speed gives her an RBI. And for Speed, then, that will be her 16th RBI of the season. And I believe that ties her for the lead with Emerson Thompson. And moving up to third base is Emerson Thompson. That's the first out. First pitch is called strike to Braylee Blevins. Blevins struck out but reached first on a pass ball in the first inning, and then came on around to score on an error. She's trying to bunt here.
Yep, and she can with her speed.
That was not a suicide squeeze.
No, that
with
was
runner
a base
hit.
And we had a play in the baseball game where the ball hit the batter and umpires missed it. They got this one.
Pitch swung on and missed.
Foul tip and hung on to.
And that is strike three. So Blevins down on strikes. Yeah, that's the first strikeout for the pitcher, Tatum Reynolds, for Pittsburgh.
2 outs.
And Shaylee Friddle, who just scalded the ball her first time up.
I wish she'd back away from the plate because she's there on her hands. She needs an outside pitch.
First pitch is up high for a ball. We have the runner at third, Emerson Thompson. 2 runs across in the inning, 2 out now. Pitch in the dirt, and it gets away from the catcher, Sophie Smith, and goes down the third baseline, and coming in to score from third base is Emerson Thompson. I'm going to call that a wild pitch.
Yep, that was in the dirt. Suppose if we had dirt.
It's impossible not to refer to it as the dirt. It's colored brown anyway. So 2-0 is what the scoreboard says. And this ball hit
spin on
off the fist. Yeah, tremendous English on it to the third base side of the pitcher's circle. And the throw is by first base, but I'm going to score that a hit, Tony.
I'm the same way because that was going to be a tough play. So
tremendous amount of backspin off that pitch that went to the third base side, and the pitcher, Tatum Reynolds, came up with it and threw it wide to first base, but Shaylee Friddle not able to move up. So here's the first pitch in to Baylor Boatman.
Yep.
Way outside for a ball, 1-0.
The pitcher took a little bit of time because she basically had to trap that ball. It had so much spin on it. She had to knock that off to be able to pick it up.
Pitch way inside. It's away from the catcher momentarily, Sophie Smith, but not enough for Shaylee Friddle to move up. 5-0, the Lady Cats lead it now. 3 runs across in the inning. A home run by Gracie Thompson. Claire Thompson singled, stole third. Came in on the sacrifice fly by Hannah Speed. And here's a pitch down and in. And then Emerson Thompson, who reached on an infield hit, has come around to score on a wild pitch.
Smith is going to be very tired by the end of this ball game. That catcher, she's already had a lot of balls by her and in the dirt.
Pitch is up and in.
Ball 4.
So a walk issued here, moving Shaylee Friddle up to second base. Baylor Boatman to first on the free pass.
Got a little conference now. Can't be bringing new players in. We may be switching positions.
DJ Dunn is the head coach of the Pittsburgh Lady Pirates, I think. I'm not sure if they go by Lady Pirates or not.
I think they do.
I don't think.
And I didn't say it during the baseball game, but Pittsburgh has now got a personal place in my heart because my best friend Don Huffstetler's son is now the head football coach and AD at Pittsburgh.
I see.
Came in. He took over for Tristan Abram, another one of my son's classmates. So I got a lot of lot of Pittsburgh history here, but John is coming in real excited about the future.
All right, great. They've had some great years in football for sure. Pitch way up high, and the catcher there, as you say, she is going to be a tired young girl. Sophie Smith bounces up out of her crouch and flings her mitt up there to pull it down.
She may grow an inch.
KK Montgomery, the hitter, and she fouls this one at the plate. And so it is 1-1.
1-1.
KK Montgomery walked in the first inning. She is a .347 hitter with 17 base hits. Runners at first and second, 2 out. And this ball is hit high in the air to the outfield. And does that have a chance? It's out of there.
It is gone.
Wow. I thought it was so high, I didn't think about it going out.
That was solid. I just wasn't stepping on you. I knew that was gone.
KK Montgomery.
That ball, both those home runs have been shots, and I don't know that either one of them is as hard as the line drive that Friddle hit down the left field line in the first inning. 3
RBIs for KK Montgomery, and I have that as her first home run of the season.
That's surprising. She just hadn't quite. Maybe she's just saving it for the playoffs.
8-0. Lady Cats lead it. 6 runs across here in the bottom of the second inning, and Abby Goldsmith is the hitter. Left-handed batter. First pitch is way up high and outside for ball 1. Goldsmith grounded out to second base to end the first inning for Sulphur Springs. So 2 home runs in the inning, Gracie Thompson and KK Montgomery. This pitch high for a ball, I believe. I didn't see the right hand.
It was a ball. So
Montgomery's
8-0. We got looking square into a short ball game if we keep going.
8-0, and the pitch is low for ball 3. Montgomery's homer just to the left of the center field extension.
Yeah, that was one of those, who's the big boy, Judge, Aaron Judge in the Yankees, hits those big, high, majestic, and that's what that one was.
And there's ball 4 to Abby Goldsmith. Yeah, I was thinking that the center fielder had a play on it.
No.
But, wow. Yeah, she cleared it by 20 feet, I'd say.
Yeah.
So the Lady Cats have batted around here in the bottom of the second, and Gracie Thompson, who led off with a home run. In fact, it was the first pitch, wasn't it?
First pitch of the inning.
She fouls the first pitch here back. And again, that was her first home run of the season. We have all these Thompsons. Hard to keep up with them. That was her first homer. And a pitch, I believe that one bounced in, Tony.
It did. It bounced in. Smith knocked it down, kept it from going to the screen. Not as much room behind catcher in this park, and they've also got about a 6-inch pad, so the ball bounces a little bit.
It really does. Oh, that one hit her shoulder.
Yep.
Hit by the pitch, Gracie Thompson, and the inning continues for Sulphur Springs. Abby Goldsmith moves up to second base, and Claire Thompson will come up for the Lady Cats. She singled and scored earlier in this inning. Had a stolen base.
A lot of room in right center up there.
And this ball hit to center field, and the center fielder has a play on it. Oh, and it bounces off her glove, and the run will come in to score for Sulphur Springs, and here comes another run in. 2-run score for the Lady Cats.
That one's going to have to go as a 2-base error.
Right, Goldsmith scores from second, and then Gracie Thompson comes all the way around from first to score. And on at second base, as Tony said on the error, on the center fielder is Claire Thompson. 10-0. Lady Cats on top here, and as you say, the run rule situation definitely staring the Pittsburgh club in the face here.
Yep, and I have no idea if they've got any more pitching or not, but Miss Reynolds is having a rough time, and there's one in the gap.
Ball hit to right field, and coming on and making the catch is Brindley Linford for Pittsburgh, and that is the inning. But the Lady Cats bat around and more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 runs in the inning. I'm not going to try right now to count up the hits, but the big blows in the inning, the home run by Gracie Thompson, and then the 3-run homer by KK Montgomery for Sulphur Springs. And we go to the top of the third. Lady Cats leading 10-0 over Pittsburgh. This is Lady Cats softball on KSST. Lady Cat softball brought to you by BT Medical, City National Bank, Wesley House Assisted Living, Farm Country, Alliance Bank, and the University Interscholastic League. Lady Cats leading 10-0 over Pittsburg, and with the second inning play-by-play, here's Tony Flippin.
All right, everything's going the way of the Lady Cats so far, and we want to keep this going. We're going to have the number 9 hitter for Pittsburgh. We're going to have Blair Langford, then Harmony Robinson, and Emmy Castaneda back at the top of the order. Hannah Speed's getting ready for pitch number 1, and there's a ball hit to center fielder. Frazier's back, and she's under it and got it. So 1 pitch, 1 out for the Lady Cats. That'll go down as an F8, first out. Hannah's looking real good, but the Lady Cats, all of them, got a little spring in their step today. They know this is a good time. This gets them a good practice game on the turf, because you're going to see some of that in the playoffs and everything.
They haven't played now in a week, so
no,
they're fresh.
All right, we're back to Emmy Castaneda, the top of the order. The first pitch is down low and in for ball 1.
She's got that left foot on the line.
Yep. Here comes another one. Ball in again.
An extreme open stance there for Emmy Castaneda.
Yeah, I've never understood. I never could, which back in my day, you only step toward the pitcher. So there's a swing and a miss on one that she gave Hannah a little bit of a gift on, high and away, but Hannah's hummed that one. So 2-1, she's getting her signal, and here comes the 2-1 pitch, up and away to go 3-1. Like
a lot of hitters with an open stance, she brings that left foot in as the pitcher is going into her windup.
But to me, that makes you susceptible to the inside pitch. So here comes the 3-1, and it must be down and in there for ball 4, and I've got that as third walk for Hannah.
Yep.
So we got 1 out, 1 on. Here comes Kylan Hudson, the second baseman, who was out 7-4 in the first inning.
She walked.
Fielder's choice.
Look, what appeared to be a base hit by Adrena Landon, but KK Montgomery got the ball to second base in time for the force out.
There's first pitch right down the gut for strike 1. Again, we'll have to watch Baylor with a 10-run lead. She might get a little antsy with the throw to first, so we'll watch for coming there. Here comes the 0-1. Ball hit the third base, scooped nicely. There's 1, and pulled her off. The throw was there, but that was a great try, and Abby she gave all she could. So that's going to go as a fielder's choice, and she's going to be on first base, and then we got 5-3, 5-4.
Yep. I thought they had it.
They had the time if she just had a split second, because the ball beat her. So that's the second out of the inning. Runner at first, and that brings up Adrena Landers, the shortstop. What a play. That was round the horn. Inside on that first pitch, ball 1. And you don't see many legitimate round the horn or even any kind of double play that's not a line drive, because you got to be awfully quick in softball. There's not much room. Next pitch comes in, catches the top side of the strike zone, so we got 1-1. Hudson on at first with 2 outs from a fielder's choice. Next pitch down low and away. Baylor looks on her toes today. I haven't seen very many balls get past her this day.
Oh no.
So we got a 2-1 pitch, and here it comes. There's a ball hit to center field, or maybe second. Nope, and there's Frazier coming in, and she makes 2 outs on this inning. So that's going to be an F8 for the third inning. So for the Pittsburg Pirates, they had no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on. And we go to the top of the bottom of the third.
Yeah.
With the score 10-0. Sorry about that.
All right, this is Lady Cat softball on KSST. Pitching change for Pittsburgh as Adrena Landon comes into pitch. She has been the shortstop. Yeah. So
I'm assuming Reynolds is going to short.
We'll see if we can pick up the number out there and verify that. But Audrina Landon is now the pitcher for the Pittsburg Pirates. Do you know, did they adopt the name Pirates after the baseball team, the Pittsburg Pirates, existed?
I don't know.
Well, they go back, the Pirates baseball team goes back to 1903 at least. But I don't know if they were called the Pirates at that time. But
yeah, I don't know where they got it.
Doesn't make a lot of sense for an East Texas team to be called the Pirates unless it goes with Pittsburgh.
They were in my district when I was in school. All right, so we got that new pitcher, Landers, out there, and Hannah Speed leads off top of the order. There's the first pitch is skied toward between second and right field, and the right fielder takes it but can't come up with it, and Hannah's hustling into second. So I'm going to give Hannah the benefit of the doubt, and we're going to give her a double since she hustled.
Okay.
That was just one of those placements where the second and the right fielder were there, but neither one of them felt comfortable.
Yeah.
So we got a courtesy runner.
Yeah. Tougher play by far for the second baseman there.
Correct. And it was actually a little bit closer to her.
But miscommunication somewhat between the right fielder and the second baseman.
Is that Peyton Taylor out there?
I have not been able to pick up the number, Tony.
Here's the first pitch to Brayley Blevins, and it's high and away for a ball. I think Peyton normally pinch runs for Hannah. Here comes a 1-0 pitch. There's a ball popped up behind the plate. Catcher squares up. Oh, bless her heart. Hit it right in the glove and popped out.
That's a tough angle.
That's a tough angle. She got under it good. She did everything right. She just squeezed it just a hair early and popped it out.
It's almost directly up over your head.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I've got 1-1. And the scoreboard agrees before it goes out.
I don't know why they can't leave the
There's a
count
square
up.
bunt back to the pitcher. She turns and gets Blevins at first, so that's a sacrifice, getting runner to third.
That is a 1-4 sacrifice.
1-4 sack. And that's going to be the first out of the inning.
Yep. 10-0 Sulphur Springs leads. Now, how many innings do you have to play before the run?
Got to play 5 at 10. You can end at 4 if you're 15. So that brings up Freddle, the freshman. And there goes another one, but it's foul. If she would just back away from that plate, she's wearing out whoever's going to get the snow cone balls today. That's 3 deep. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Bounces, and here comes the runner is Hannah, and she scores, or it's Peyton. I believe it was Peyton, but whoever it was scored for Hannah. Her position got it.
Wild
so that
pitch.
makes it 11. Yes, sir. Wild pitch, 1-1. So Freddle's up there now with 11-0 lead. 1 out in the third.
That's the same thing.
That's the fourth.
At least.
Yeah.
Now, if she stands up near the front of the box also, would it help maybe if she took a step back toward the back of the box?
No, the front is fine because she's still pulling it. She's getting out ahead of it. What she needs to do is she needs to back away from the plate 6 inches, and then maybe she can catch the real barrel. You want to see one hit. Wait till she catches one on the barrel.
She's hitting 380 coming into the game. That one bounced in.
There's the 2-1 pitch bounce, so we got 2-2. She is a powerful girl too. I'm here to tell you, she's got quick hands, and somehow she hits the barrel of the bat.
She has 2 home runs, 13 RBIs. Again, just a freshman.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch. She wanted it. It's up in her eyes, but it's too high. So we're going full. 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of 3.
Scoreboard's off again.
Yeah. I hope they still got warranty on that because something's going, or else the man's messing with us. Here comes the full count, and it's high and away, and so there's another walk. So that's going to put Freddle at first. That's the 3rd walk fourth walk for Pittsburg pitching. So now that brings up Baylor Boatman, the catcher.
Still just one out in the inning here.
Yep. There's a ball hit toward right. The right fielder appears to be under it. She snags it and has it, and a throw in to second to keep the runner from advancing. So that's going to go with an F9 for the second out of the inning on Baylor. And that's going to bring up KK Montgomery, the left fielder, with 2 outs and 1 on. Bottom of 3. 11-0 Lady Cats. There's a shot over second base into the gap. And runner slowed down at second but came on. And so she got there, and that's going to go as a double for KK. And we moved up second and third. That's Friddle is at third. I don't know why she kind of delayed at second, but she made it in plenty of time. So 2 on, 2 out. Here comes Abby Goldsmith, our lone left-hander.
Of course, Montgomery had that majestic homer her last time up.
There's a ball that gets away from the catcher, and in comes Friddle. And right behind her is KK when the ball got away from the pitcher on the throw back.
Wheels off.
Wheels are off, yep. So this is just one of those days.
2-run score and a wild pitch.
Yep.
13-0, the Lady Cats here. Sulphur Springs won the first game between these teams at Pittsburg March 18th, 9-1.
So here comes the 1-0 pitch with the bases clear, and that's fouled back over to the left side and over us. 1-1.
Goldsmith, .333 hitter, 13 hits and 39 at bats. She has 3 homers and 15 RBIs.
But you can see the whole ball game. The Lady Cats are starting to hit the ball game, or hit the ball. There's a ball outside for a 2-1 count. We're all putting the ball in play, and we're hitting. This is the hardest we've hit as a team, I think, so far. So that's a good sign at the tail end of district and get ready for playoffs. Is get your mind right. Here comes the next pitch. There's a shot down first. First baseman makes a diving catch, but in foul territory. Really nice play by Addie Castaneda.
Going to her left.
Snared it right on the bag, but it was about 1.5 feet short, or out to the foul. So I've got 2-2.
That's what I've got.
Pitcher's got the signal. Here comes the 2-2, and there's a ball popped straight up. We're going to give and the pitcher's coming over this time. That's an easier catch there. So that's an F1. So at the end of 3 innings, Lady Cats come up with 3 more runs, 2 hits, and nobody left on base. Or there was a couple of errors, but we'll give those to the other side. So at the end of 3 innings, it's now 13-0 Lady Cats.
And Lady Cat softball continues after this on KSST. Lady Cat softball on KSST. We're going to the top of the 4th inning. It's all Sulphur Springs, 13-0 over the Pittsburg Pirates here, as Hannah Speed goes back out to the pitcher's circle with 5 strikeouts so far in the ball game, and she has not given up a hit.
No, she's looked good. I think this is her best pitching effort of the year. Is not necessarily reflected on strikeouts, but she's in control. Here comes the first pitch. There's a strike. That was right on the edge. Kaylee Stoker, number 8, the left fielder, leading off here for the Lady Pirates. Next pitch is a 1-hopper right back to Hannah. She fires one over there to first base for a 1-3 out for the first out of the inning.
Braylee Blevins playing first base tonight. Now, we don't broadcast every game. We broadcast the home games until we get to the playoffs, but I don't recall Braylee Blevins having played first base.
I'm the same way. I can't remember who's been there. But
well, Abby Goldsmith has played there a lot.
True. Here's the first pitch to Tanton, and it's down and in.
Lawton is. Lawton.
Okay, Lawton.
Yeah, I know my handwriting's difficult to read. Tony copied it off my score sheet.
There's the next pitch up in her eyes, and she couldn't lay off. One of my pet peeves happened on that comebacker to Hannah. As soon as she got the ball, the batter's barely out of the box, and she fired it over to first. And you see that in girls play. There's an high and outside corner. So now we got 1 ball, 2 strikes to Lawton.
And your point being?
Take your time.
Mm-hmm.
See, she nearly handcuffed. There's a good pitch, a little change of speed, and there's a swinging strike for out number 2. And Hannah hadn't had to throw very many change-ups, but she did there and had her way out in front.
Every strikeout has been swinging.
It has, yes. But I see this in girls play more than guys play. Is as soon as they get it, they fire it over there.
Mm-hmm.
The hair got away from her. That Castaneda is pretty quick there. She would have been on with a hit by pitch. That was kind of behind her a little bit.
Low bridge.
So 2 outs, nobody on. Top of the 4th, 13-0 Lady Cats. If we can get this one, keep the 0, we'll finish this game. There's a swing and a miss. 1-1. I think it may have been tipped, and Boatman hung on to it.
And that looked like a changeup.
Yep. Here comes the 1-1. Swung on and missed a little bit on the outside there. 1-2.
Lady Cats play at North Lamar tomorrow night, but Hannah Speed could come right back and pitch again tomorrow night, couldn't she?
She will. And with if we can get out of here with 4 innings, in all honesty, this is a light day for her. Here comes the next pitch. Baylor trying to get her to come out there, and she did, but the umpire said no go. 2-2.
That game earlier this season between Lake Highlands and Irving MacArthur. Go ahead and call the pitch.
Here comes 2-2. Up and away a little bit. So now Hannah's going to go full count. Let's see if she can keep that walk from coming around.
The game was won 48-43 by Lake Highlands.
Okay, there we go. I thought
that's what I thought.
All 4.
The hitter was ready to go. Standing there for another pitch.
I think it was a strike, but we had a mercy rule there. So that's the 4th walk for Hannah, the way I've got it.
Anyway, in that game, the Lake Highlands pitcher threw 273 pitches in that game.
If one person did that, that's cruelty. There's the first pitch on Tatum Reynolds, the original pitcher. Fouled out of play. So 2 outs, runner on first, top of 4. Hannah's got the signal now. Here she comes with it. Lost her release point. She's up a little bit.
Of course, that underarm motion does not put nearly the stress on the pitcher's arm that the baseball motion does on a pitcher.
I played fast pitch way back, and we had a left-handed pitcher. There's a ball down and in. Charles Murray, which a lot of people know about in Sulphur Springs, best pitcher I've ever played with. He pitched 10 complete ball games one day when we were playing softball.
Mercy. Fast pitch.
Fast pitch.
Good heavens.
There's the next pitch. That's kind of a squib out to the first, but it's spinning off to the right foul. And now I believe I've got 2-2.
That's what I have.
They got 1-1. So.
And the umpire says 2-2.
There we go. So they take the scoreboard down. All right. Hannah, I think, is kind of losing her interest, too. She needs to get this one and get this game over. And there's a good pitch, and that would be called. That's the first strikeout looking, but it is a strikeout nonetheless. So at the middle of the 4th inning, they go 4 up and leave a walk on. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on by way of a walk.
Hannah Speed, Tony.
Good. You're good.
Hannah Speed now with 7 strikeouts in the game. Lady Cats lead at 13-0, and we're going to the bottom of the 4th. This is Lady Cat softball on KSST. Lady Cat softball on KSST. Lady Cats leading 13-0. The Rangers playing at the Chicago Cubs in Wrigley Field tonight. Will be joining that game in progress after this one. Might not be too long from now.
Yep.
And the Rangers, you said, what is the score?
1-1 with Evaldi pitching. Bottom of the 2nd. Now 0-0.
Okay, good. So we hope to join that game in progress here before too much longer. If the Lady Cats score 2 runs here to make it 15-0, the 15-run rule would come into effect, correct?
Yep, that's correct. So we got number 11 is coming in right now for Thompson. No, that is Thompson. Okay. Looked to me like he was telling the umpire he was changing up.
I thought so too.
So
yeah, Gracie Thompson.
Gracie, you're not going to take her out after she's got 1 towering home run. So they've made some changes. We'll just see whether or not we can catch numbers coming in. Not going to try to make the defensive changes.
Not sure about the pitcher. Is this the same pitcher we had last inning? I believe it is.
Number 3, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Audrina Landon.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So here comes Gracie. Base hit, little Texas leaguer over short. Center fielder couldn't get to it.
So we have the Thompson, and Thompson firm coming up for Sulphur Springs here.
We got a left-hander here, and it's not.
Pinch hitter.
Abby, so
left-handed hitter.
Number 10.
And she is slapping at the ball.
Maddie Dixon.
Uh-huh. Batting for Claire Thompson, who had a single and scored in the second and reached base on an error in the third.
Friendly strike zone from the home plate umpire there, which is just fine. Dixon's doing what a lot of left-handers do, is running up and kind of trying to slap at the ball.
Dixon's 5 for 20.
And there's a called strike 3.
Now 5 for 21 on the season. So in limited action.
I don't think that one's Dixon's fault there. That's the wide strike zone that you get with a game like this. So this is 22, which is going to be Emily Adamson.
Batting for Emerson Thompson. First pitch swung on and missed. Adamson, a .333 hitter, but that's a 1 for 3 line. So she, again, very limited action here for the Wildcats, Lady Cats. Swung on and missed on the pitch, and the runner going from first and kind of belly flops in there at second base.
That was a less than stellar slide.
Again, I don't know.
She's not hurt.
I have no idea what it would be like to slide on this
I wouldn't, because it's going to get your forearm. And with her, she's liable to have a little raspberry on her nose or chin.
There's
swinging strike 3. Oh, I'm supposed to be doing this, aren't I?
Right.
Okay, I'll wake up here a minute. So Adams swings and miss from strikes out.
I'm laying back for you
all
here.
All right, Gracie's at second. We now got 2 outs, and we go back to the top of the order with Hannah Speed. I'm sorry, I'm asleep. First pitch is high up and away, ball 1.
Speed, a .500 hitter for the Lady Cats. 23 for 46 coming into the game.
She's got gone 1 for 3 with a double today. There's a swing and a miss for a strike. Now it evens it up at 1-1. Again, 2 runs and the ball game's over. So we got 2 outs, but we're at the top of the order, so that's not asking a whole lot right now. There's a shot to center field, and it hung up just enough. Center fielder got it, so that goes as an F8 for the 3rd out of the inning. The ball was hit well by Hannah, but nothing to show for it. So we had no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base, and they had 2 strikeouts there. So at the end of 4, we're still sitting on 13-0.
And this is Lady Cat Softball on KSST. Lady Cat Softball on KSST brought to you by BT Medical, City National Bank, Wesley House Assisted Living, Farm Country, the Alliance Bank, and the University Interscholastic League. So we go to the top of the 5th inning. with the Lady Cats leading 13-0 over Pittsburg. And it is Sophie Smith, the catcher, coming up. And the first pitch from Hannah Speed, she swings and misses for strike one. She struck out her first time up in the second inning. Hannah Speed, 7 strikeouts, 3 walks. She has not given up a hit, and obviously has not given up a run. Next pitch is high for a ball to Smith, number 8 hitter in the batting order. She'll be followed by Brinley Lankford, the right fielder.
Pittsburgh has got to score 4 to keep this game alive.
Smith hits it off the end of the bat, foul down the first base line. Count is, I have 1 and 2, Tony.
1 and 2.
And the pitch by Hannah Speed. And there's a call, strike 3. She caught the outside edge, about the knees. Last 2 strikeouts have been looking.
She's got it working today. She's looking good. I think she's rounding into playoff form.
That's 8 strikeouts for Hannah Speed in the game. And there's a fastball strike on the inside edge of the plate to Brinley Langford, who flew out to center field her only time up in the third inning. 13-0 Sulphur Springs. Pitch is down and in. Langford kind of flinched a little bit at that one.
That one would have hurt that right toe.
Yep. Speed with the pitch, and there's a swing and a miss for strike 2.
She doesn't need to check her armband about what to throw. She just needs to throw the ball right to Baylor.
Well, I imagine pitches are still coming from the dugout, even leading 13-0.
Yep.
Now this is still Baylor Boatman at catcher.
Yes. I don't know that we've really made. We might have made 1 or 2 changes, I guess, since
well, we had the 2 pinch hitters there.
The 2 pinch hitters, but they can also go back in and play.
Ah, right. This ball popped up in the infield, and the shortstop coming on
Friddle
for Sulphur Springs, Shaylee Friddle, who comes in and makes the catch just behind the pitcher's circle. So
she
2
did
out.
exactly what she's supposed to. She hollered, called it, spread her hands out, and then went and got the ball, and the rest of the team did what they're supposed to do and back off and give her room.
Top of the order, M.E. Castaneda, and she swings late at the first pitch, hits it foul into the net down the first base line, and it's 0-1 to Castaneda, who is 0 for 1 with a walk. She struck out in the first, walked, and was forced out at second in the third inning. And the pitch down in the dirt for a ball. I have 1 and 1.
That's right.
Again, we are working without a consistent scoreboard tonight. It's at least they do have the runs up by the inning and the total score. This ball hit to center field, or short center field, and it gets away from the center fielder, Allison Frazier. Actually, it would have been a spectacular play by her. I thought she was going to make the play.
If she had turned her glove the other way, I think she makes that catch. She tried to backhand it and right at the ground, but great effort, and there goes the no-hitter from Hannah. That's a shame, but 1 more out and we can get out of here.
Yeah, you would have had to score that a hit. That would have been a spectacular play by Frazier.
Yep.
I thought there for a moment that Shaylee Friddle, the shortstop, might have a play on it.
I couldn't read the depth, so I couldn't see how far out.
So Emmy Castaneda has the first base hit for Pittsburgh here in the top of the 5th. Runner at first. And this pitch into Kylan Hudson, the second baseman, at least at the start of the ball game, is away for ball 1. She walked in the first, reached base on a fielder's choice in the third, and now fouls one into the net down the first base line. You have 1 and 1?
Yes, sir.
Lady Cats on the road at North Lamar tomorrow night.
That's going to be for 1-2, I believe.
Yep. And the pitch is fouled into the net to the right side.
Good pitch by Hannah. Got in on underneath and hit at the hands of Hudson.
1 and 2. Did he say 1 and 2 or 2 and 2?
I've got 1 and 2.
I've got 1 and 2.
That scoreboard agrees. Look quick.
Foul back into the net.
tomahawk there. That one about up, about eye level or just a little above, and she decided it looked good enough.
Yeah, North Lamar is 2-1 in the district and 9-7 overall. And again, I think some games have not been reported to Max Preps there. But there's a pitch low for a ball. So I make it 2-2.
2-2.
Lady Cats leading 13-0, top of the fifth. About to run rule Pittsburg here, unless they get something going. And here's a pitch away for a ball. It's at now 3-2.
He's being very generous not to call him out on the third strike, because that one was close enough, but that's all right.
3-2 pitch by Hannah Speed. Hit foul over the Lady Cats dugout down the first baseline and out of play, and the count remains at 3-2. Lady Cats at home against Texarkana Pleasant Grove at 6 p.m. Friday. We will have that broadcast for you on KSST.
Runner at first will be taken off with the pitch.
And this ball hit well to left field. KK Montgomery, however, coming on and makes the catch, moving to her left. So a line drive there by Kylan Hudson. That's probably the best hit ball against Hannah Speed tonight.
Yep.
And KK Montgomery puts it away, and the Lady Cats have won this one 13-0 on a run rule victory over the Pittsburg Lady Pirates. 13-0, Sulphur Springs with the win. So we'll take a break, come back, and wrap this thing up. This is Lady Cat Softball on KSST. 13-0, Sulphur Springs wins it over Pittsburg here tonight. Hannah Speed with another superb pitching performance for the Lady Cats. She has 8 strikeouts. Obviously, she gives up no runs. She gave up that one base hit there in the fifth inning. A ball that was hit on a low liner to center field, and Allison Frazier made a valiant effort to come in and make a diving catch, but she just simply couldn't complete the catch, and so it goes as a base hit. Hannah Speed walked 3 batters tonight. If there's anything to be at all concerned about with her, it would be that, that occasionally, for whatever reason, she misses her range. And
she kind of misses her release point, and she'll get wild 2 or 3 times a game. Of course, it's hard to stay in the middle, and if you stay in the middle, batter's going to dig in on you. Right. So it doesn't hurt to throw one in the dirt or back somebody up every once in a while either. So she's rounded into form, I believe.
Just a sophomore, Hannah Speed. And also, we kind of lose sight of it, but she's a fantastic hitter as well. She's leading the team with a 500 batting average.
Well, we brought out the lumber tonight. This was the best hitting game up and down the lineup as far as not a ton of base hits, but put the ball in play, stole some bases, ran the bases good. It was a good outing for the Lady Cats.
Lady Cats had a homer tonight by Gracie Thompson, which was her first of the season. And KK Montgomery had a prodigious shot to left center field. It was really impressive homer, so high in the trajectory there. And I thought that the center fielder was going to make a play on it or had a chance to make a play on it, but just kept going.
I was going to be surprised. I thought that was gone from the sound.
So 2 homers for the Lady Cats, both in the second inning when they batted around. In fact, 12 players batted.
And the 2 homers were only 2 batters apart.
8 runs scored there in the second inning for Sulphur Springs.
Well, I guess it is more than that because Gracie started off.
Right.
Never mind.
But a 13-0 win for Sulphur Springs this evening. Lady Cats now go to 19-7 for the season. They are 6-0 and dominating District 14 4A. And as we told you a few minutes ago, they play at North Lamar tomorrow night. That's really the only team that has stood up to them at all so far this season. And that game will be at 6 p.m. And then at home against Texarkana Pleasant Grove at 6 p.m. Friday night. And that'll be senior night, and we will have the broadcast of that game for you. Wildcat Baseball at Paris tomorrow evening at 7 p.m., and they will be at home against Paris at 7 p.m. Friday night, so you'll have both the Lady Cats and the Wildcat Baseball team playing at home on Friday night. And Lady Cat Softball is brought to you by BT Medical, City National Bank, Wesley House Assisted Living, Farm Country, Alliance Bank, and the University Interscholastic League. Matt Jansen is our technical director and video producer. You can see this game later on YouTube and on Channel 18 in Sulphur Springs. James Terry, our producer in the KSST studio. Tony Flippin, my partner with the color commentary and play-by-play tonight. And the Lady Cats win it 13-0 over the Pittsburg Lady Pirates. I'm John Mark Dempsey, and we say goodnight to you from Donnie Surratt Field in Mount Vernon.